Hey mommies, how are you? This is the first time that I'm doing a Facebook Live on my computer, so it's like weird. Because for some reason my Facebook Live icon just disappeared overnight from my phone, so I have to get that sorted out. But anyway, I did really want to do this video because I did a video last week about things that you should kind of take into consideration when you're at the hospital, and that really sometimes you kind of expect that you're going to go into a hospital, so everything's going to be really smooth and safe because you're in a hospital environment, there's doctors and nurses, but it's not necessarily like that. Yes, you are in a controlled environment, but they have the control really. You kind of are like on the bottom there because they're telling you what to do. And it's just a very different environment from when you're, for example, in a birthing center or where you have midwives and doulas and stuff like that, because they have much more of a holistic type of approach rather than going through guidelines and protocols and rules and stuff like that they have to adhere to. Midwives and doulas are much more open-minded, and they have a lot more knowledge into natural techniques and stuff like that. They're not so rigid and thorough in regards to the medical practices type of thing. So sometimes though, set aside that though, doulas and midwives and stuff like that, or IBCLCs, what I want you to know, which is really important, because this is something that you hear a lot, maybe sometimes what my mom used to tell me all the time about, I knew something was wrong with you because I have a sixth sense. Mothers have a sixth sense. Mothers have this heightened intuition. And I would always just be like, yeah, I don't think so. You just kind of like read my facial expressions or my body language, so you knew that I was upset. And she was like, no, it's beyond that. It's like, I knew that something was wrong with you. And now we live like on separate sides of the world. She lives in the UK. I live all the way here in Miami. And sometimes she'll just call me out of the blue. She's like, oh, I just feel that something's not right with you. Are you okay? And I'll be like, okay, strange. But then as I've become a mother myself and I have kids now, I understand exactly what she means now. And it's so, so true. That sixth sense that mothers develop, it's actually true. It's a connection that you develop with your baby. And it's something that happens not just when you have a baby and afterwards. It happens during pregnancy. And it's happened to me before too. I know when something's wrong. I have that feeling about me that things are not going right, or maybe I should get this checked out. And sometimes you think, oh, I'm being negative, or I'm being insecure, or I'm too stressed out. No, those things are in you, and you know when things are not going right. And I can definitely tell you that I've experienced that thoroughly in all my pregnancies, and when I've given birth to my kids, and when I've had my children too. So I want you to just start to kind of exercise that, and kind of, if you're pregnant right now and you're going to be having a baby soon, try and, get in tune with your baby. Try and listen to what your body is telling us. Sometimes we're so focused on reading stuff, or we're like, we've become this society where we want to take control of everything. We want to have knowledge of everything, and we just want to be like experts at everything. Well, it's good to be prepared. It's good to read. It's good to have information, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power. But sometimes we need to just take a step back and listen to what our bodies are telling us and what our babies are communicating to us, rather than all the echoes and all the sound that's on the background, okay, in regards to our minds. And that's especially true when once we have a baby, and once our baby's born. We have this thing with breastfeeding where we just we've had baby in our bellies, and placenta's been doing all the work in regards to the nutrition and making sure that your baby's thriving. And now that your baby's born, then obviously we take charge, and we're like, okay, now we're going to provide for the baby. We're going to make sure that the baby has everything that you need. And it's that innate instinct that Mother Nature puts in you, so that you are able to care for your baby, and so that your baby's able to thrive. So that's like your cave woman, as I like to call it, inside of you taking over. So make sure that you don't just kind of like put that aside. Listen to what's going on inside you. Don't worry so much about like how many wet diapers, how many poopy diapers. Okay, yeah, those are all things to take into consideration. But sometimes that instinct inside of you is stronger than anything else. So listen to that. It's there for a reason. And don't just kind of put it to one side. If like a nurse or a doctor, someone's telling you something, make sure that you fight for that right. Make sure you fight for your feelings and for what you want, and demand things that you need or that you know are going on with your baby. So if you need help at the hospital, demand that a lactation consultant come and see you, for example. Or if for example, that things are going well, because it could be the opposite. And then it's just like, oh, no, I'm not sure about this, or this is not going well, or your latch is not good enough, or the baby's not doing this, or whatever. If you are comfortable with the way things are going, say, hey, you know what? I'm comfortable with this. I got this. Things are okay. So it's both of those things. Mother Nature, that instinct, that sixth sense, as my mom calls it, is your way of knowing that things are good or that they're not going so good. So make sure that, when you're a little bit unsure, or you have people telling you things, just kind of like step back and pause and listen to what your body, what your instincts, what your gut feeling is telling you about that situation. Okay, that's my number one advice. And to start to cherish and to kind of embrace that amazing gift that you've been given as a mother, which not every human being walking on this earth has that. You have that unique trait because you become a mother. So it's like the gift that nature gives you when you become a mother. So make sure that you really, really listen to that. That's why it's sort of like when you're in that pregnancy stage, it's important for you to kind of meditate and connect with your baby, talk with your baby, start building that relationship and that communication channel between you and your baby, which is not always going to be verbal. It's going to be based on intuition and feeling and emotion. So really, really take that in. And it's kind of like a supernatural thing, really, when you think about it. And sometimes people are like, oh no, but you really have to experience it and listen to it and become in tune with it to be able to believe in it. And that's kind of where I've come at, and it really is awesome. So if you're a mommy and you're watching this video and maybe you've already had a baby, what's your number one tip or advice in regards to intuition, to that sixth sense, whatever you call it? And when did it kind of become like, aha, I have this. It's like a new weapon for me. It's a new wand that I have, something else that I can listen to, and that gives me that security and that feeling that I know what I'm doing and I know what's going on. Bye, mommies.